Hey, I'm GUYINAHATGAMES.
And I'm ZakashiGaming.
We are the Silver Foxes, and today's episode 4 on video game music. We are doing menu music. Enjoy our first track, the File Select theme from Super Mario 64. Enjoy. Short and sweet, that one.
I was gonna say, literally, it's gonna be the shortest song we've ever gonna play. Oh, take me back! Take me back to the 90s. Oh God,
that needs no introduction. The legendary Koji Kondo from Mario fame with our first track. Was it just the menu theme? I forgot what it was called. I forgot my notes, chat. I forgot my notes.
It's right in front of you.
I know.
It's right in front of you.
File Select. It's
the
File Select
screen
from Super Mario 64, a game I still have yet to finish. I only played whatever I streamed a long time ago. Hope everyone out there is doing well. We are the Silver Foxes Gaming. Please join us on the Discord to be announced of when we go live on our respective channels. Shameless self-plug, whatever it's called, done. So, menu music. You were the one who suggested the theme for this episode.
I did.
I imagine it's not this track that gave you the inspiration. It'll be the next track we'll be listening to.
I think the thing is with like menu music is it's such a weird one that sits in the world of music, especially for video games. But it's one of those that you think, actually, there should be a lot more people talking about menu music, because again, that's probably one of the first things you hear in a game. Mm-hmm. You know, even if it's just you booting up the game and going on to the press the start screen, or when you're selecting for options. I mean, there's a lot of music that you only hear
within menus,
and you'll never hear that. You'll never hear that throughout the game. There'll be some games where you just have the ambiance of whatever's in the background of what you're playing, but people that actually make specific menu music for games, that's crazy. I mean, making, it's a great, and I'm glad that we make it. We're bringing this to a light, because I feel like there needs to be more credit for menu music. If there already isn't, it's not that I don't look.
Not often talk about, I should say. Sorry, I'm cutting you off there. My apologies.
No, it's all right. But yeah, so when we were trying to come up with the list, or you come up with my list, I knew automatically what my first track was, and again, we'll get to that, but this was my second, and me bringing this to you all to listen to is just bringing you into my heart. Literally. This game made the biggest impact, probably the biggest impact playing video games ever. If I hadn't played this game, I don't think I would have been a massive video game fan. It gave me so much memories, the core, and of just feeling back being a kid, listening to this soundtrack. I listen to the soundtrack at least once or twice a year, and then just hearing the title screen, you just. I don't know what else I can say. It's nostalgia, and that's all I can keep going on about. It's nostalgia. It's fantastic. It hits the veins. It hits me right in the veins, man.
When you submitted your tracks,
I just love it.
I was looking at your 4 tracks, and I was like, yeah, these are very. I guess they're your tracks. They are from video games that you have spoken about often, and one of them I am so glad you brought. I'm incredibly grateful you brought up one of them, which we will hear later. My own track selection. This is like one of the most fun episodes I have done, because I did not. The only thing I struggled with in my own track selection was I had too many. I had so many tracks to pick from. Like I was overwhelmed with just choice. I didn't know how to narrow it down. So some of them I had to sadly remove because it was too similar to another one, or it just sounded exactly the same. I tried to bring a bit of a variety, even though looking at the list, it's not that varied. Maybe we'll see. But my track selections was less from older video games. I tried to bring some new ones, and two of which I have never played before, but I've listened to these soundtracks quite often. So it's very regular occurrence for me to
you do
listen
love
to
to
music
play
sound.
or not? You don't like it, I should say. You do love to listen to a lot of music, even though you haven't played the game. I've noticed that.
That's because my main music genre to listen to is video game music, and when I go on YouTube or Spotify, it recommends me similar type of music. Their algorithms work for a reason. They're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, right. I see you like video game music. Here, try these. Or I watch a lot of YouTube content around video games. Or watch a lot of streaming around video games whilst I'm playing video games. I listen to a lot of video game music, and sometimes I get so immersed in a video game music that I add the game to my wish list. The stars haven't aligned yet for me to just dive in and play it. But one day I will. I'm sure I will. I tried to bring a bit of a variation on menu themes, maybe themes that weren't not think they're menu music. I got two of these I know off the top of my head. Like I would not have expected these to be menu music, and I'm very excited to share them with you today. But going back to file select, Super Mario 64, quite chill. It's very chill. I think that could be maybe a theme of menu music. Like I think we were discussing off show where we like, what is a menu music?
Yeah,
like what do we count as a menu music? Is it the title screen? And I think we just roughly came to the conclusion that if you control a menu at any point whilst the music is playing, that's good enough. Whether it be a new game or going through the options menu or in-game menu in an RPG. It's like if you're navigating a menu or about to navigate a menu, that's good enough.
I was thinking so close about just because I mean Final Fantasy Tactics is literally all menu, so I was like, oh, I'll just bring the whole of Tactics. I'll just bring all of that soundtrack over. But I was like, no,
could have worded it in a way where that would work, but it might be.
Tactics was very close, by the way.
That was
another game that I was thinking about putting on. But it didn't make the cut, so.
It's so many good menu music out there. It's so many good menu music. As I was mentioning, I was really struggling to narrow down the tracks. There was tracks I had from video games that I did play growing up, and I listened to them regularly, and it does give me a nostalgic hit. Yeah, I wanted to highlight tracks that share some newer-ish ones, maybe games released in the last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
And ones I still listen to regularly. But thank you for bringing Super Mario 64 File Select. That was one you brought in today by the legendary Koji Kondo. The next two tracks is brought by our own ZakashiGaming yet again. We'll jump into those right now. Our track 2 is GoldenEye 007, the watch theme, of course, by Grant Kirkhope. And track 3, Shin Megami Tensei 5, World of Shadows, Shining Bright, or Death's Shadow. Enjoy. They did not need to go that hard with the GoldenEye 007
No, they
watch
didn't.
theme, did they?
No,
They
didn't.
They were cooking with that one.
Oh wait, you can't shoot him. He's looking at his watch.
It's a weird one, that track. It's very I don't want to say chill. Yeah, it kind of slows it down, maybe. Like I imagine I have played GoldenEye before. I played it a few times actually, but I don't think I've ever got past level 1. I mostly played the multiplayer with a friend in high school.
Oh, it's all about the multiplayer. Only
briefly. It's one of those games I need to tick off a list one day. Really enjoyed that track. I liked how Grant Kirkhope took the iconic James Bond themed and just rearranged it in a completely different way and context of just pausing the action. I don't say this to sound mean. It's like it makes good elevator music. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something to do while you're waiting. Yet it's still that dun 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 dun. That's enough to just to keep you there. So you're not too relaxed, if that makes sense. Yeah. What was your thoughts on it? You're the one who brought it in today.
It's kind of like I don't know if it's the right word to kind of describe the song, but it's kind of like lo-fi. Like lo-fi.
Yeah, I can see the vibe of lo-fi. Like I imagine this track would be very much a YouTube playlist somewhere of this track just for an hour to 2 hours long with like raining sound effects in the background, pattering on glass. I could totally imagine that.
Like they made the lo-fi before lo-fi existed with this song.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like this was like the beginning of it. You know, it's like I can see where they got the inspiration to make that type of track with the beat. But oh yeah, they I don't know if they knew that they made a iconic track. Such, you know, I mean, they made an iconic game. And some of those, and even some of the soundtrack from the 007 game, especially for the first 2 levels, are phenomenal, and they deserve its own. In fact, we might do something down the line with the podcast. We might do like level themes, maybe.
Absolutely, like the best first level theme or something, like the best introduction to a game or something like that.
But yeah, this song is, like I say, it's just it's the 007 theme. What else can you say? But it's slowed down. It's got a good beat to it. You know, all about the all about that beat, all about them vibes, and it just it fits. Somehow it just worked. And there's tons of people who have spoke about this song, and it's literally the reason why we're probably doing this.
Seen a few TikTok memes on or YouTube shorts on this track of like, you know, hey, we just need just a normal menu music. Don't go too hard on it.
Too hard.
This track comes on.
Yeah.
And it's such a good track. Again, I think menu music's one of those types of genres in video game music that's it kind of does go under the radar and underappreciated sometimes. Yeah, there is definitely gems within menu music, and I know a lot of sometimes maybe menu music is just another song from another part of the game just used in placement of it because they just need, like, menu music's one of those, it needs something. It's better than just having a silent screen. It needs something. Yet when developers actually go out of the way into incorporating the menu music within the game itself. You know, like in GoldenEye, so one of the things I love, and maybe it could have been something Persona took inspiration from, I don't know, but it's, you know, you click the button and he brings his watch up and then that's the menu.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. I love it when it's not like a role-playing game where you press a button and then boom, a menu just pops open, you know, where it really incorporate it within the narrative of what's happening in front of you. And I think GoldenEye 007 uses that spectacularly well with its menu, and this theme encompasses it very well.
It just shows you as well, like, you know, a game that came out nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's still, you know, people talk about not just the game itself, but again, the menu music, you know, this iconic track that has been made over 30 years ago in a game that's pretty much, you know, I know it's been, it kind of got left on the console for a very long time, and it still kind of has until recently, where it's come out on the Nintendo on the Switch, their thing, haven't it, on the 64 emulation.
I think
thing.
it's on Xbox as well. Don't quote me. It might be on the Retro Replay Collection. Don't quote me on that. I'm actually going to fact check that right now.
On the Rare one?
Yeah, the Rare.
I thought it was
Retro.
Perfect Dark.
You might be right. You might actually be right. I just had a feeling it was on there, but I could be wrong.
Because I thought it was just Perfect Dark. Because I didn't think it was
Perfect Dark. I was incorrect. It was Perfect Dark. Wow, there's a lot of games on that collection. That's a really good value for money if you can grab a copy.
The only one that's worth playing on that is Conker. 100%.
No, there's loads of games on there. There's Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Killer Instinct, Battletoads, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Tooie,
the greatest
Dark 1 and 2, Viva Pinata. I know, might not be for us. Cameo, that's one I actually want to play. Cameo.
Oh yeah, Cameo, yeah.
That's on my list one day to play. There's that many others.
But yeah, 30 years, and then we're still talking about it today. I mean, okay, fair enough. You could probably say that a lot of games, but especially for something like GoldenEye, but then again, GoldenEye set so much going forward for not just...
It did. It revolutionized first-person shooters.
Yeah.
First-person shooter multiplayer as well. That and probably Quake around that
Quake
era.
Was huge.
It's a phenomenal video game. Even though I've not played much time into it, I remember playing it back as a kid. It was like, whoa, I can play this with my friends. It was great. And it really highlighted the full console port of the N64. I may have not liked the controller, but I definitely appreciate what it's done for video gaming of that time. And then you brought in Shin Megami Tensei 5, World of Shadows, Shining Bright, or Death's Shadow. There's a few composers on this soundtrack. Ryota Kozuka, Toshiki Konishi, and Kenichi.
That's a great answer. There you go.
But this track in particular was composed by Ryota Kozuka. And this is when you are... Is it Demon Fusion? It's one of those. It's in the menu when
you're fusing. You're fusing demons.
You're fusing your demons, yeah. Phenomenal game. The soundtrack is a certified banger. I don't know if I prefer it over 3. It's very close, but even 4, to be honest, 4 is just as good. I think they are both S-tier soundtracks, but each one is a bit different. I like how rough 3 is. Like 3 is quite a rough soundtrack. It's like almost punky in its aesthetic, and that's the point. Whereas 5 is very otherworldly and clean-ish.
Yeah,
like it definitely has some punky, metally soundtracks within its soundtrack. Yeah, it's just got higher production value. Like they really cleaned it up, and this track in particular, it keeps that. I don't know what it's called. It sounds like bells, but I don't think they are bells. It's like dum 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 dum. Like that's a common motif within this video game, especially.
Yeah, it's like chimes, eerie. Like a chime.
Yeah, it's like a chime. I think you're right there. This track is quite eerie, and when you're playing the game within the context of this menuing where you're trying to fuse demons, it is, I assume, meant to invoke some type of eeriness to it, like this otherworldly presence. As much as you are in a otherworldly Tokyo as you are as the player, when you traverse to this other plane of existence, it's even more otherworldly. It's like it's a place out of time, with a voluptuous guest when you when you visit there. I can't remember the person's name now. It escapes me. But again, it's sort of like it's not lo-fi, but it's like a lower, chill, slow down kind of vibe. So it's just enough to get you thinking about what you're supposed to be doing in the menus without overstimulating feeling your sensory input right, because sometimes if you're in the menu sometimes you don't want a bombastic track to overtake what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be thinking on what you're supposed to be doing, and so a good track is something that is quite memorable yet sits there behind what you're meant to be doing. Although some tracks in here are not like that. We'll get to that.
Well,
but yeah, great track. I enjoyed it. Quite eerie.
It's like almost like a weird that you do something weird. You're doing something weird, and this track goes well with it. You're doing demon stuff. You're fusing demons to make another demon, and this track just made that experience more memorable for me. Especially when the track first, because this is not the bass track. If you go in on when it's not the full moon, I can't remember you'll know the full when you have to go in. What was it called?
I think it's still it's called World of Shadows.
No, it's like you have to go in at a certain time, don't you? When it's the full moon thing, the moon cycle.
The track we're bringing today, Shining Bright or Death Shadow, is when the moon is full.
Yes.
Or eclipse. I think that I may be misremembering. If anyone in the comments wants to correct us, please do. I think this is the track that plays when it's a full moon or it's a full... The other one, the sun. And then the first track you normally play is not this version.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, so that was all. It was just like, it's so, because when this happens, like, if you don't know SMT games, because sometimes SMT likes to throw curveballs and certainly throw things at you that you don't necessarily will have. And then this is one of them, a different track. And it's just like, when you hit, it's like, hang on a minute, this is not the track from before. And you're thinking, why is this playing now? Unless you're familiar with it, then you'll understand it. But it's just, I will always be grateful. I will always be grateful to you for introducing me to this game. You've been a massive Persona fan for long, or SMT fan. And when you told me to play SMT3, when you told me to play SMT3 all those a couple of years ago, when I played it on the channel, it was the best experience that I've experienced with.
And you didn't save the VODs.
And I didn't save them, I know. But it was definitely an experience, and I'll never forget it, because it was like, I don't know, anyone else who played that game at the time, you all experienced something that was special.
It's certainly a unique game.
Yeah, 100%.
And easily accessible now, thankfully. It's on Steam, PlayStation, Switch, both 3 and 5. I'm still crossing my fingers for 4, because...
Yes, hopefully the 4 does get some love.
I feel is easier than 3 and 5 in a lot of aspects. I think it's better narratively in terms of it has a more cohesive narrative. I don't want to say anime narrative. It's just, it's got characters who you remember, and they've all got easily digestible ways of thinking, rather than 3, which is very subjective in its narrative, and 5, which is lacking in narrative.
That was it. Yeah, it definitely lacked. Great soundtrack, great game.
Phenomenal soundtrack, phenomenal gameplay, and I still think 5 is the easier one to introduce somebody to the series. I'd say, hey, play 5. It's easily accessible and everything, and if you enjoyed 5, you'd probably like the other ones. Great track. Incredibly grateful you brought this one. It's so great. SMT, or Atlas in general, but SMT, Persona, and its other franchises has fantastic menu music. And one of them, which you may not expect, will be getting played. I'm sure a lot of people who know me, who love Persona games, may think I might bring Layer Cake from 5, but I won't. I'm going to bring something completely different. So we'll move on to our next tracks, which was brought by myself. We have Soulswap from Othercide, performed by Solitaris, featuring Holocene on vocals, and Soul Hackers 2, the Compsmith Shop, by lots of names, which I'll read out, I'm sure. So stay tuned and enjoy.
There's nothing here, nothing to see. They'll come again. You're not real, and I'm not either. White, no black, no red.
Remember when I said menu music is not meant to steal the show from what you're doing?
Yes.
Well, two tracks that would probably stole the show whilst you're navigating menus. Othercide, Soulswap. No, the game is called Othercide, and this track is called Soulswap, featuring a band called Solitaris. I've never heard of the band. They are a band. You can go on Spotify, listen to their albums, featuring a singer called Holocene. I don't think they've done any other vocal work from my own little research. I've not played the game. I've seen footage of it. It's a turn-based isometric tactical game, so think XCOM, Tactics, and I love the game aesthetically. I think it looks so unique. It's black and white with a touch of red, and it's quite otherworldly. I'm not quite sure if it looks horror-esque. It may be. Yeah, I know you are something of a mother sacrificing her daughters. Sounds legit.
As you do.
As you do. So I think the soldiers you control are the daughters, and you, the entity, are the mother. Again, I've not played the game. It looks super interesting. It's definitely on my wish list to play one day when I'm in the mood for a tactical RPG, although there is a long list of tactical RPGs I want to get around to, including Final Fantasy Tactics that's just come out. I did research into where this track is placed, and it's placed in the main menu music. So when you boot up the game and you have start game, then you have new game, continue, options, and all that. I'll class that. That's fine. There's a menu of sorts there.
I was going to say that was very, like, I was expecting, like, wasn't expecting a full song, like, you know.
It is a full song, isn't it?
It's
but you can navigate menus while it's playing, so...
Yeah, it can. That's true. I'll give it you. I'll give it you. But yeah, I was thinking, like, this has got to be like a credits, like an end credits song or something.
It sounds like an end credits song. It's like, do you know what it sounds like? Something like a B track from an Evanescence track. Yes. It's very of that era.
It reminds me of Skillet, if you know the band.
Yes, I do know Skillet. I do. It's that 2000s new metalish rock, Evanescence, Skillix, Papa Roach-y, kind in that sort of ballpark. I should have listened to the band actually. What are they called? Solitaris? I don't know what type of band they are. I've not heard any other of the music. Apologies. They are a 4-piece metal band from Paris. Looking on their Spotify. They've got a few albums out. 3 albums. Been going since 2019. Lies on massively low-tuned guitars and dark atmospheres, and that was certainly a dark atmosphere. I was definitely getting
dark. Yeah,
and it fits the imagery of what you can see, like on the Steam storefront. It's very like black with a bits of white and even subtler like reds plotted about. It looks just like a super interesting game, but this track especially, I've listened to this track a few times over the years because it's been out quite a while. And it's moody and dark and, again, fits that 2000s vibe of Evanescence. And, you know, when you've got a line of killing the ones that you love, that's very 2000s. 2000s lyricist right there.
Yeah, they got that one right.
Yeah, I enjoyed the track. And I just wanted to bring it to show... You know, menu music doesn't always have to be just sitting in the background. It can be very much in the foreground, depending on the situation. I think maybe certain menus, like a main menu before you even start the game, where you're not meant to spend a lot of time within that menu, if that makes sense. It's just new game, continue, options to change your graphical settings, and away you go. And it also introduces you to the game. I think that soundtrack, just from listening to it, sets the tone for the game you're about to play. It seems to be like a very dark, atmospheric game, just from the song alone. I think it's a good introduction track. I enjoy it. And then the next track, I could have brought in any Persona menu video game track, honestly. They are all bangers. Persona is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's sitting up there with Final Fantasy and Sonic, and Fire Emblem. I adore Persona music so much. Yeah. I also wanted to highlight Atlus's other tracks, and Soul Hackers 2, whilst the game itself was maybe not hit all the points I was kind of hoping that it would be. I love it aesthetically and its soundscape. I love the look of it. It's such a beautiful looking game of that sort of urban sci-fi mixed with like Shibuya punkish aesthetic. Reminds me a lot of a newer game. What's it called? ZZZ, Zenless Zone, something or other. Another game I want to spend time into one day. And I remember listening, getting into this is just the shop music. Like, this is just the shop music upgrading your guns. And that 1 minute mark when the needle drops and that guitar comes in, that dun, 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 every single time I'm like, oh, it hits an O point for me. It's so good. It's just, oh, it hits somewhere, like, it just hits somewhere deep inside me. It's such a beautiful track. And that moment when it's just, dun, 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 like, because it comes out of nowhere, you're not really expecting that slow guitar, brighty sound. It's beautiful. And I can totally imagine this being played in a shop, any shop really, whether you're just in a music shop browsing for vinyls, and this one's there. Again, this is a good one that it doesn't sit in the background too far in the background. You're very much listening to it. You're very much listening to it. Yeah, it's just subtle enough where you can still carry on doing whatever you were doing, like flicking through the menus and just vibing along. I think Atlus music, like with Shin Megami Tensei 5, they are great at making menu music that fits the vibe of the game, yet they put a lot of effort and soul into it. It's not just a throwaway track just to sit in the background. It's very much a track which stands with every other track, yet just scaled it back just enough so you can continue doing whatever you were doing. That's what all video game music I feel should do. It's supposed to invoke a certain feeling to a response of what you are doing within the moment. So if it's a battle track, it's meant to get you pumped up and ready and hype most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. It could be a sad piece like Eris theme from 7. It's supposed to invoke a certain feeling, right? And this track definitely encompasses that. You're in a modern high society, sci-fi Tokyo, just upgrading your guns in a gun shop. I love it. And there's lots of composers for this soundtrack, but this track in particular is produced by Kuniyuki Takahash, I believe. There's like 6 composers on this one. The main composer for Soul Hackers 2 is Keiichi Okabe, I believe. He does a lot of music for Atlus. Yes, great track. Very much enjoy it. And you know what? I do recommend people please go try Soul Hackers 2. I wouldn't go into it expecting Persona or SMT. It's very much its own flavor. I'd say it plays very more traditionally like a role-playing game, like a Japanese role-playing game in a more traditional sense. And what I loved about that game was you actually played as adults. You're not teenagers doing teenage things. You're playing as men and women. And I think Atlus should make more games like that because it's so interesting. Like when I went, in between missions, you go to the bar and drink beer. It's like, oh yeah, totally relate to that because I can't relate as much to teenagers anymore these days. As
much as how much hard we try. As much as we try, man, we just can't do it.
Yep, no, we can't. And whilst we can relate to their struggles through empathy and compassion and other things, I can't always act like a teenager as much as I would like to. But whereas in Soul Hackers 2, they're all adults with adult problems with how to navigate adult things. I wish they went a bit more harder on that. But regardless, it's a good game, and it's often on sale, and it's often even more so overlooked, and I really recommend people give it a try, especially the soundtrack. I think it's got some great tracks in there. Just hold your expectations. Don't go in expecting like Persona or SMT5. But yeah, I love that track so much. Really recommend it. What was your thoughts on the track?
Like I said, it was very, very like mellow. The track was quite mellow, and then as you say, the guitar comes in, and you're like, oh yes, this is.
It's still quite mellow, yeah. It gets your head nodding.
Yeah,
like
it does. And it's just like it just comes out. It's like, oh yeah, this is good.
And
this is a good
that bass
vibe.
face. Do you know the bass face, right?
Yeah.
Just that big frown, not frown in a bad way, but that upside down you in your face, and you're like, oh.
Like, oh yeah, that's the spot.
That's the one. You get it. You totally get it. Like that moment when that din din does that. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. Yeah. It's like that first bite of like just the sweetest cake you've ever had in your life. It's beautiful. I love that track so much.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah, but like I say, yeah, it was like just kind of mellow, and I'm thinking it's just got a nice little mellow track, little background thing, and then yeah, it's just typical Persona vibe that comes in, and it's just they just do it so well. They just they need to be studied. They need to be studied on how they make music, because it's just bangers after bangers after bangers, and it's just. Come on, just give some more for other people, surely.
It's like
just give it more.
I know a lot of people say like Shoji Meguro, he's done a lot for Atlus with Persona and the early SMT games, but we shouldn't forget like the other composers within the Atlus house that is just as good and as better in their own type of ways, including this track. Like the SMT team and the Persona team and the other team, like Etrian Odyssey, they knock out soundtracks and music. They're up there with the greatest, in my opinion, with the soundtracks. And I know everyone loves Persona. I love Persona 2, Persona 5 especially. All of the Atlus games in the last 5-8 years have been just a game. They're phenomenal soundtracks, and I highly recommend anybody give them a listen.
Would you say? So, just quickly going back. So, I know we talk about Hideo Kojima, right? And we talk about him a lot about like how much he just he prefers the movie element of a game, and he should probably just go into movies. And then you've got like the people who've done SMT, and I'm pretty sure like the guy. Because he voiced himself, didn't he? He did some on SMT3. He voiced himself saying stuff, didn't he, on some of the tracks, like gibberish, like him just shouting down a mic, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure on that. The only one I know for sure is a lot of like the battle tracks when it's just
yeah.
And all that.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a Apple computer. It's an Apple computer that had a text to voice thing in it, synth or software was inside it, and then he just typed in Bible quote, and then he's just added some distorted effects, and that's what it came out. So all of the singing you hear in SMT3 is it's a computer. It's an Apple computer.
Oh.
But I don't know if he did his own bits as well and added that too and heavily distorted. Like SMT3 soundtrack is not meant to be listened to lyrically properly. It's meant to be otherworldly and weird, and it works for that game for sure.
What I was going to say is because it's gone with SMT3 and then upwards and then the Persona series, like they are very much I feel like Atlus in general are a very down to earth, knowing where they come from, and especially with the music element. Like I feel like they are almost a music company that they just make fantastic music to go alongside their games, which are which are fantastic as well. But they put so much effort into music.
They do put so much effort
that they, I feel like there's not many other companies that other than maybe, like I said, over like Final Fantasy over the years with Nobuo and I'm trying to think of anyone else really over in Asia.
For me, I think the only team that like rivals Atlas team in the soul of the music, like the music is such an integral part of the narrative and what's going on, is the Falcom sound team. So they do the Legend of Heroes East series. They put a lot of love, care and attention in their music. It's music of a different genre, of a different kind. There is a lot of cross fans with Atlas music and Falcom music because they are both teams that really put their music at an important level, both narratively and what's going on in the scene. Not to discredit Square Enix pumps out so much AAA content in terms of music in all of their video games. Falcom and Atlas, in a way, I think Falcom captures that Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 era of personality, or something personable, I want to say. Not personality, personable within their music to their games. Whereas Final Fantasy 7 Remake Rebirth, as much as I love them and I love those soundtracks, the soundtrack is busy. It's very, very busy. There's lots of renditions of different types of tracks, and it can kind of lose identity of its own. As much as the tracks are great individually, I feel like they can be unpersonable, and I don't know how else to describe it other than that. As much as the soundtracks are phenomenal, as Falcom and Atlas, they know their audience, they know what music works, and even better, I feel like their music's, including this track, Soul Hackers 2, Comp Smith, are very easy listenable outside of the context of their video game projects. Like, especially Persona 5, it's like that introduced me to jazz in a big way. It uses a lot of jazz motifs, and we're kind of getting off topic, really. We're getting off topic for where we're going, but it's our show. We can say what we will, and I feel like Persona 5 music, especially, can be listened to. I still listen to it regularly outside of the video game music. They know what they're doing, and it adds that personality within its video game, whereas maybe Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth don't have much of a personality, not personable within its soundtrack. I don't know. I don't quite understand what I'm trying to say myself. I just know the feeling I'm feeling, and I'm having difficulty trying to convey it.
Would you say that Atlas itself is more music based than gameplay based, or would you say they've just got it perfect?
No, I say they do both equally the best. I do genuinely feel like they take their music just as seriously as writing a story and writing its characters and making its gameplay. It's not like
people don't buy it just for the music. People buy it to get lost in the story, and people buy it to experience a Persona game. And okay, the music it helps a lot. But do you think most people come out of a Persona game remembering the characters and the story, or do they remember more of the music?
I think both, to be honest. If you enjoy Persona 5, I think a lot of the music. I think with Atlas, both in Soul Hackers 2 and SMT, because the same thing applies to SMT, right? In that a lot of their music is perfectly selected for the situation you are currently in that screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it memorable, right? If I hum to you with the track bum 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 from SMT5, you know instantly where that was from, what feeling that invoked from you at that boss fight, and how blown away you were. And we still listen to that track coming out of that game, and how excellent that track was. Like, think that, but nearly all of the Persona 5 soundtrack, I love it so much. I don't think they're compartmentalized. So, for example, again, I'll refer to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I do like Rebirth, by the way. I loved it at the time. I still think it's one of my favorite games ever. Certainly one of my favorite combat systems. I do sometimes get the feeling that it worked like the UK government, where the departments don't often talk to each other very well. Especially in something like 14. Whereas in Atlas, every individual component of the video game, the sound effects, the soundtrack, the narrative, the characters, the story, the writing, the gameplay, and how the gameplay works, and there's definitely a mythos within Atlas on every single individual section is not left on its own. They are all working together and speaking back and forth with each other, and like even this track, Comp Smith, it takes me back to that shop and the character within that shop and their personality and how their personality kind of incorporates within this track. And SMT5, how it's kind of moody and dark, and it fits the theme of where that is and the character who you see within that one. It just works so well. So yeah, this music can be enjoyed in isolation. I'm sure if I presented a lot of Persona Atlas tracks to people, they'd be like, wow, that's from a video game. It's like, yeah, it is. It's so good. I don't know if that answered your question. Yeah, I love Atlas music. It's great. Good job.
Yeah, good job.
Went on a little bit of a tangent, but it's okay. It was all in good fun, and I loved it. I enjoyed talking about it. Thanks for bringing the question. I like that one.
It was all right.
I like that one. Any more to say on the last two tracks?
No, not a lot to say. Like I say, just like I said, the first one very reminded me of Skillet. So I was just like, oh, I can hear this, and it's just it's one of those that I'm like, wow, like this is I know as you say, you've not played the game. I certainly have no idea what the game is, but I mean, from that alone, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I wonder what the rest of the soundtrack sounds like.
If you're still in that tactics mood after you finish Final Fantasy Tactics and you want more, maybe look into it. I'll post it in the Discord. And for those out there, we do have a Discord. It'll be in the comments below in the video description. Join us in the Discord. It will let you know when we do our respective projects. Okay, so we'll move on to our next two tracks from fighting games. Now, fighting games has some phenomenal menuing music.
They certainly do.
We got one from each of us. One from our own ZakashiGaming and one from myself. So we're going straight into Tekken 7 Solitude by... I've lost my notes because I moved the screen. This one's composed by Taku Inoue. And then we have track 7, which is from Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 24/7 Crazy by Kenji Yamamoto. Enjoy. that last track's so fun. I love that. That's like, I was just thinking of like something that would be something from like Marvel versus Capcom. That sort of light, fun, bouncy like jazz and saxophone, most sensual instrument on the planet. Love a good sax. I love a good sax.
Always find a way to put a sax in any of our tracks.
It's just a fun, bouncy track. I love that. It made me smile, that track. Really enjoyed it. And that's the one you brought in today.
It certainly did.
And the one I brought in was Tekken 7 Solitude. I had a quick Google. Again, a game I've only played 5 minutes. It does feature on a season menu. I don't quite understand how it works. If you know, please drop it in the comments.
Season 1.
Season 1, yep. But it is featured in a menu. So
It certainly did. I love Tekken 7. Tekken 7 was phenomenal. Like, probably...
the soundtrack to Tekken 7 is chef's kiss. As much as I've only played the game for a little bit, I listen to the soundtrack to 7, both Volume 1 and 2, all the time. I love Tekken 7 soundtrack. Some great tracks from 8 as well, but 7 just...
7's was...
So, it's phenomenal. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And this track is no different. There's lots of menu bits I got to pick from 7, but I've listened to this one on like an hourly repeat. Solitude. It's just a great track to listen to in the background whilst you're doing other things, like exercising and anything like that. It just has a nice loop to it. It's really fun and it's chill yet kind of embracing you for something else. This is a good track if you want to do some workout, but you don't want like hype workout. It's just something like a chill workout, I suppose. If that makes sense at all. I feel like that fits well in that vibe. So I imagine it's quite difficult to make not a lo-fi, but a slower, mellow tempo track for a fighting game. When it's a fighting game, it's meant to be quite bombastic. Like your track you brought in today. Those two are quite good contracts with each other. Yeah, I love that 24/7 Crazy. Was that featured only in that video game, or was it featured elsewhere? I feel like it was featured elsewhere.
It made its first appearance in Budokai 3. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it did somehow, I think it did find a way into like the Budokai Tenkaichi ones, I think. But after that, it didn't. It's not made any appearances because of a bit of plagiarism. And plagiarism bad. Okay, I know. Yeah. So don't out me out, chat. Okay, I know I bought a track that perhaps is a bit controversial, but you all know why I bought this. You know why I bought this.
It's fun, and it's got a sax in it.
It's Budokai 3, right? If anyone played Budokai 3 back, that was literally the anime of anime fighting games. And the soundtrack to Budokai 3 is absolutely... I don't know what else I can say other than it's phenomenal. It's the greatest soundtrack ever proposed, ever came out, except it's all plagiarized. And Kenji, you're a naughty man. You're a naughty man. But we can see how like he took a lot of tracks from that time during the 2000s and we're just like, he just uploaded his Spotify into the game at the time. He was just like, I'll just change this over, and and it's almost like, yes, you've got today. I mean, this is another deep dive into like what makes a soundtrack or what you're doing in music, because you get the rights to songs, you can also get permission to use songs. However, if you don't get permission to use songs and you use very similar the backing tracks or certain guitar riffs or things like this, and you without getting permission, that's the bit. And it's worth a discussion, not for us. I don't know if that'd be the right thing, but it's definitely worth somewhere to go. Right, I'm not saying what Kenji's been out and out, and he's doing he's had to do what he's done, and that's fine. Okay, whatever's happened. And I'm not saying what he's done, but there's like a thin line somewhere, and I don't know if this is something that was worth having a discussion about, because even though the tracks you could hear, because there's a track which features Earth, Wind and Fire, Earth, Fire and Wind. Is it the band? It's Earth, Wind, Fire, or Earth, Fire, Wind with the September song, and you could easily just, it's been done. You can go on YouTube and you can play both the Dragon Ball Budokai soundtrack to that, and it literally sounds exactly the same. But yet there are differences. But is that differences enough? Like, I know I'm going into some deep dive of it, but I brought this track anyway because anyone who played it knows how good the soundtrack was without us all knowing back then. And then realizing later on, it's like, oh, okay, I can see why people played hell about the soundtrack. But yeah, it's a great soundtrack. The sax is fantastic.
That is a good conversation.
It features only in as far as I know, it is only in the main menus, and just scrolling through what you're doing, whether you're going on where you go to versus mode or go onto the world, or the story mode or stuff like that, and Goku just going, "Hey, it's Goku!"
Yeah, that's actually a very good impression. That was excellent. That was so good. That was excellent. I like that. That was good.
So it just brings back so much memories, and just it's so good. It's such a good song.
Definitely a conversation about, like, in fact, we were having a similar conversation the other day, weren't we? About are you an individual who can separate the artist from the music and enjoy the piece of music in the context of that music and where it's placed separately from the artist? If the artist has done something like bad, for example, it's plenty of art. I won't name artists, but there's artists that made great music back in the day that's now come out in recent times as being a bad person, and the tracks are no longer getting played. People who used to love that track can't listen to that track anymore, and they are well within justifiable rights to not listen to that track anymore.
Yeah,
for whatever reason that may bring. I'm someone that can acknowledge both, that a person is a horrible human being or horrible person or did a mistake like plagiarism. I think there's a similar story, Resident Evil 1, where somebody said he was deaf when he's actually not. He got a ghostwriter to write a lot of the music. I might be misremembering that. Please tell me in the comments. Whereas I'm someone who can acknowledge both, as someone did a bad thing and they've made a great track. Those two things, even contradictory things, can happen simultaneously. They can happen just because we're human. That's life. Sometimes it happens. And I can very easily separate the artists and what they've done from the art that they've made, and listen to their art in context of whatever that art has been placed in, so whether it be a video game, a music, or even just a specific time of my life. I think that's a very good conversation to have a discussion about another day. So I could see from your point of view that Kenji did a naughty thing, and everybody had every right not to listen to this track and maybe diss him or whatever the case may be. Yet the track is still fantastic. It's still a fantastic track, and it took you back to a time of when you played this game, and Kenji doing a bad thing like plagiarizing this song should not diminish your feelings and your experiences surrounding this track and your specific time of your life, if that makes sense. I don't think that should discolor that experience for you, if that makes sense. Yeah, I understand how people are not able to separate the person from the art. I totally understand and respect that. And maybe people can't play this game anymore because of just the dishonesty around it. I totally respect that. So I definitely think there's a worthy conversation to be had there. But yeah, it's a fun track. You brought the right track for me, Zakashi. It's jazzy, got saxophone in it. It's very fun and bubbly. I I think jazz especially is one of those music genres that works so well in video games, across any video game genre. It's such a fluid, well used, well understood genre that could be used in a lot of contexts. Again, Persona 5, and fighting games as well, like Marvel vs. Capcom. Such a great track. I'm glad you brought that. Tekken 7 Solitude. I kind of wish I brought other tracks from Tekken 7, but I couldn't find ones that would fit the theme of this episode. We could make a whole episode on fighting games, and it would just be, from me, probably Tekken 7 tracks, because they're just so good. Or Blaze Blue, or Guilty Gear. They're phenomenal.
Oh god, yeah, they
I
certainly
love
are.
those. Listened to a bit of Guilty Gear yesterday, actually. Okay, if you have any more to add?
Yeah, I was quite shocked about the Tekken one when I had that on the list, because I was like, oh wow, you bought a Tekken track. I was like, I didn't even think about Tekken. I didn't even think about it.
Tekken has so many great tracks across the whole series.
The ones that I think of,
3 and 7
tracks.
to me are so good.
But the one that stands out, and I think this is another one that we're going to do, and I think when I'm going to say it, but I would love to do a character select screen.
Hell yeah, totally down for that.
I would like that. I think most people know when I'm saying that, because certainly Tekken 5 is certainly the greatest character select screen music of all time.
When you said that, I was thinking of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Want to take you for a ride?
There is that one. I mean,
I love that one. I love that one. I'm not gonna lie. It's a crime. That's such a short track.
It is. I know. But there are some fantastic ones, and even Budokai 3 has a great one as well. So
Beats of Rage 2 has a great track too.
They do. They certainly all do. There's quite a few there, so I think that's a good one as well. We'll add that one into the list.
Does a character select screen also include a car select screen?
Car select.
So I've got a track for that one as well.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think that would work because it's like, as long as you're selecting a select screen, character select, it can feature anything. Yeah, I give you that.
Okay. I've got something in mind for that one as well. Okay, we'll add that to the list. The list is ever growing.
I know, and
I need to go back through all our episodes and grab all the tracks again and write a spreadsheet of all the songs we listed.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I know, in case we do.
Because I brought a track today, which didn't get a feature today, and it's because I feel like I've brought this track already and I don't remember. So I need to go back and do a spreadsheet of all the tracks we've already played and pin them. But yeah, thanks for the selection. Great track. I love that one. 24/7 Crazy. Okay, are we ready to move on to our last episode, our last track of the day?
Yep, certainly.
We are going to listen to it now, and then we're going to have a talk about it, and then we will end with that track on the closing. Do you remember the mobile game Goddess of Nikki, the one with the big jiggly boobs and the butts? Mostly the butts. Mostly the butts. This is where this track is featured, and I have not played a singular second of that mobile game, and I don't plan to. It's not my type of game. Mobile games in general aren't really in my bag. Yeah, I've heard a lot of music from Goddess of Victory Nikki, and that was Dirty Backyard. I don't know the context of where this game is played, other than I've had a quick YouTube look, and it's got a menu where this track is featured. I think it's like a limited time event story thing. But Cosmograph, who composed this soundtrack, is wow. I believe he has made some phenomenal music for Goddess of Victory. I highly, highly recommend anyone go and listen to the soundtracks of Goddess of Victory Nikki. They are so varied. Like, the composers so varied in their craft and the different types of music that they can do. From this, which is like dark synth, to like metal, like pop punk, J-rock, pop, like proper poppy tracks. I wanted to bring another track in today, but I couldn't confirm whether the track I actually wanted to bring today was featured in a menu. It was made for like a maid event. I think it was like a maid costume event, which sounds legit for this type of game.
Of course it is.
I'm trying to remember the name of the track. It escapes me. You've Always Got Me. Again, I think it's also composed by Level 9 as well. But yeah, You've Always Got Me is another fantastic track. I wish it was the menu music, so I could have played that today instead. That's so fun and poppy. Yeah, this track today, just great bit of menu music. I just really enjoyed it. I listen to this one quite frequently, as a lot of Goddess of Victory music. It's, even for you, Zach, I recommend just going on your music thing of choice and just downloading a few of the tracks and listening to a few of the tracks, because they're so varied and so good. I just wish they were in a better game. I so
well, now you've offended the whole Goddess of Victory.
I think even a lot of Goddess of Victory fans wish they didn't have to play the damn game. But that game makes truckloads of money. It makes truckloads of money. It's very much a Guna game. Well, let's be honest with ourselves here. Not like got any issue with Guna games. You know, enjoy what you want to enjoy safely. Please, by all means, enjoy the games you want to enjoy. There's no shade at all. Yeah, I want to call it what it is. It's very much a Guna-ish game.
Goon and be safe, everyone. Goon and be safe.
Goon, that's words to live by. That's the title of the show today. Goon and be safe.
I can't believe I said that.
Just goon and be safe, chat. Just goon and be safe. I love that. I love that. I'm sticking that somewhere. Yeah, great track, Dark Synth. It's actually introduced me to the idea of Dark Synth. I wasn't really aware this was a type of genre. Like, it's almost a bit industrial, maybe. Got some industrial influences. If not very light industrial influences, but it's for like harder styles. Even though this isn't quite harder styles, it's
grit style, as I call it.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good introduction to like exploring harder styles like Dark Synth. But I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a great track. I don't really know what more to say on it.
No, you can't. Yeah,
I feel like I think this is like a main menu music as you're just starting the game, and it takes me back to Othercide Soulswap, where it's very much at the forefront, where you're listening to this track while navigating in a menu that you're not going to spend a lot of time in. Again, little context, I've not played the game, but this is just, I brought this track in today more as a call out to anybody who does not enjoy mobile games at all, yet is very interested in video game music genre as a whole. I think majority, if not all, of the Goddess of Victory musics is available on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube officially. Please go and listen to a lot of them. They are so good and worth your time. And such a variety of soundtracks, styles of genres within the video game. I just wish it convinced me to play the game, but every time I look at it, I'm just, no, not for me. No. Not for me. Maybe I'm being too judgmental and, what's the word? Judging a book by its cover. Maybe that could be a case for Goddess of Nikki. Maybe it is actually a very good in-depth video game behind the hood with an interesting story. And I just need to look past the goonerage of it.
Look past the butts, Mr. Hart. Look past the butts.
Look past the goons. Just look past. Just get in there. Have a look.
Keep your hands on the table.
Hands on the table. Hands on the controller. Well, apparently you can play this game with one button, with one thumb, apparently.
Oh god, that's
it's
even
definitely
worse.
A Guna game. Oh well. Anyway, what did you thought on the track?
No, it's great. Like I said, it was like that industrial feel, and it's just like to me, it's like when we were talking about like character select screens. I could feel like this could be on a character select screen.
This may, it was. I think a lot of the story events is usually introducing either a new character or highlights a character like they would introducing a new character, but with new costumes or whatnot. So you may be right there. You could be onto something. Good observation.
But also, since you've said anyway, because it's from a dirty anime game on. All I can see now is anime women shaking their booties to this song. That's all I can see now.
Hey, it's nothing wrong with that, boys. Sometimes people just have big boobs and big butts, and that's okay.
just swaying, to the
Like, I'm going to show you the imagery of this song in particular. In fact, this imagery is on the album cover. Oh, get rid of you. All right, this is like the album cover, and just from looking at the cover, you know what type of game it is. Can I share with you my screen? So, look at it. So I look at it. You know what we're getting into. At least like the red and the sort of like, it looks almost gangster, like the alleyway, and maybe it looks like something like Hong Kong, especially like you know what game you're playing here.
Yeah, I already know what game I'm in for that one.
Is this the same developer as Stellar Blade?
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Can someone quote me on that? Let's have a look. Stellar Blade. I know they got all of their money to fund Stellar Blade from a mobile game they made. I'm just not sure if it's this one. Yes, it is. This is so right. This is the Stellar Blade developers. This is where they made all their money from.
Oh, wow. Oh, right. Okay, wow.
So, Shift Up. So, they're best known for Goddess of Victory and Stellar Blade. Yeah, so without all of these glorious boobs in this mobile game, we wouldn't have had Stellar Blade, which was a fantastic video game.
Full of boobs and butts as well.
Full of boobs and butts, although not as bad as this one.
Not as bad, but your main character was very boobs and butts, so...
Yeah, very much so. You know, this just got us a Nikki. It kind of reminds you of what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, Dragon's Crown, where it's just so over the top. It's meant to be taken, like, not seriously. Like, it's meant to be quite funny. But yeah, regardless. Great track. It actually got me into a little rabbit hole of looking into dark synth and that genre, because I've never heard of it before this one. So I definitely thank it for that. And go and listen to Cosmograph. Even if you just don't want to listen to all of the music by all the artists, I highly recommend listening to the Cosmograph artist. Phenomenal composer, absolutely phenomenal. It made so much great music. And highlight for me personally is You've Always Got Me on the Perfect Made single by Goddess of Victory. Fantastic track. Very poppy track. Yeah, it's got just this good, nice flow to it. And I wish I could have played it today. One day I'd like, maybe sometime soon, just before we get into doing another themed episode, we can do a junk draw episode where we just bring whatever track you want. Maybe we can plan that in for next week. The next show after the Halloween one, we could just do a show of bring in whatever you want, and then we'll go back to a themed one, just as a palate cleanser. We don't have to really think about it too much. We just, I don't know, because there's been so much music. I'm sure it's been the same for you, where we wanted to bring to a show, yet we just couldn't fit it within the theme.
Fit it in, yeah. I agree.
Then that sparks the idea of, okay, we'll add that theme to the list, and then it's when does that list get around? So maybe it can just be every now and then. We'll just do an episode on just bring whatever you want, just to celebrate the milestone. Maybe we could do it on a milestone, show and tell, like the 5th or 10th episode or something.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to wrap it up.
Yep, that's good then.
ZakashiGaming, thank you so much for being here today. Husbando,
my pleasure, sir. My pleasure, Mr. Hat.
And everyone listening today, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, all the links are in the comments section below to ZakashiGaming, the Purple channel on the Purple platform. He's currently finishing off Metal Gear Solid 2 HD.
I certainly am.
And on my own channel, GUYINAHATGAMES on the purple channel, we are still playing Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster. See, I didn't screw up there.
Yeah, got it right then.
We are doing the trophy run for that game. Very much enjoying it, so come and check us out. All of our links are also in the Discord, which is dropped below. In the Discord, you'll know when we go live. You can also drop in your music suggestions in the music channel if you want a song featured on the show. Please do. I'd love to include one. In fact, in the Halloween one, we may have a guest track selection from one of our regulars. We also do a video games completion quest. So we do a quest on how many video games we can finish in a year. I think I'm on number 30. I've done pretty well this year.
You're smashing it. Absolutely smashing
doing very well. It could be bad in that I just play too many video games. Depends how you look at it. Yeah, it's just not a competition per se, it's just to see how much we can chip away at the backlog. And of course, you can chat with myself and Zakashi when he graces us with his presence in the Discord. And any of our other projects. It's also where you'll find links to our VODs channel where we host all our previous live streams and our own respective channel links and everything like that. I think that's all the housework for today. So I've been GUYINAHATGAMES. You've been...
I've been myself, ZakashiGaming.
You've been yourself. That's all we can be. That's all we can
do.
And for the listeners, I will leave you with Goddess of Victory, Nikki, Dirty Backyard, which a name that sounds totally appropriate for this game, not gonna lie. By composers Cosmograph. Enjoy. Bye.
Bye bye.